Hi everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and today we're talking tropes. Please excuse the penny pastor on my shoulder. I couldn't get her to get down and she keeps climbing me like a mountain if I try to put her down, so she's staying there for the moment. But on to the video. I personally love the crime and mystery genre. I love looking for clues in the work and trying to work out who did what and why. That said, I do have some tropes that grind my gears and I'm going to tell you all about them. So here we go. Number 1. Serial killers. I want to be clear here, I'm not saying to never have serial killers in fiction. They happen and there's no getting around it, but there have been series I've read where every new case is a serial killer, and it stretches that belief just a tad too much. There are ways to use this trope to the best of your ability, but making every new book set usually in the same geographical area about a brand new serial killer, you're losing me at that point. I will give up on your series and I will stop reading. I just feel like it's one of those use once cards. You can do it once, and after that it has to be something else, something other case that moves the plot forward. Crime fiction doesn't always have to be about dead bodies and a race to find the killer before they hit someone else on their list. There are other very usable plots, and please, if you're doing serial killer after serial killer, maybe think about reading some more crime yourself, because it doesn't have to be this way. After a while, you start to wonder if the whole town is just all serial killers, and it makes it just sound just a little bit too unbelievable. Number 2. Lone wolf detectives. It's one thing for a detective to be between partners in the US or new to a team in the UK, but one thing that really gets me going is the characterization of the lone wolf detective. It's usually a dude, let's be honest, they usually have the gut. You know what I mean, when they know something despite all the evidence against it. And again, this is something that can be done really well. You can have a character who is able to pick up on the nuances in what people say and don't say, but that's a topic for another video. Usually the lone wolf is someone who can't or won't work with someone else, because they're just so super special that they must always be alone because no one can keep up with them. And it just grinds my gears because they just feel so unrelatable. They feel like flat characters, and it feels like the story could be so much better, because the lone wolf detective is solving everything without ever needing to actually have any sense of evidence to support that, and it pisses me off. Number 3. The sexy detective with lots of love interests. This one is usually also always a man too, and they're usually quite distasteful. There's someone who may be a lone wolf, but they're also someone with a tragic backstory, which I'll talk about in a moment, but they usually have more than one love interest. I read a series where the male detective was basically propositioned by every woman he met. He always turned them down because he was looking for true love. And another where the guy is married with a girlfriend and a lover who basically houses them. It's not about being poly, but it's done in such a way that there's nothing believable about the romance. There's no build-up, there's no romance, it's just insta-love and lust, and it grinds my gears completely because you can do good romance. And you could have detectives with more than one love interest and do it well. But either they're cheating or they're irresistible to everyone who meets them, and that's just not realistic. Number 4. The perfect detective. This is a little like the lone wolf, but I felt like it needed its own section as well. This is again usually a man, though it can be a woman. They're the detective who had jokey talks with their superior because they're so perfect. They solve every case that comes their way. In fact, they pop down to the cold case unit every so often and at a glance are able to solve decades-old cases. And of course, they always catch the bad guy and end up in his life or death situation because they're so perfect. But they never fail, and while sometimes it's part of it being fiction, it feels like they should, at some point, have a case that stumps them. But they're so perfect that when someone they know has a problem, kidnapped child or dead relative, they turn to this dude. Because of course, he's the only one who can solve the case. Doesn't matter if it's in his areas of expertise or even on his patch, he's going to catch them, save your child and all the rest because he's just that good. Don't really have to explain why this annoys me. I mean, I get that some people are that good, but with everything they do, seriously? On top of it, it removes so much of the tension and frustration on the police's part. You start the book knowing that the detective is perfect, is going to know who the bad guy is in 1 or 2 chapters, and then you're dragged through everything else working it out. It feels pointless, and it's a good reason for me to DNF a book. And finally, number 5, tragic backstories. This feels like something that reaches beyond the crime and mystery genre. But tied into that lone wolf detective and the perfect detective, there's always a tragic backstory that make them this way. Now I know that seems rather broad. There are some stories out there with protagonists in the crime and mystery genre who do have tragic backstories, and I'm a big fan of them. But sometimes it feels like it goes too far when you combine it with the other tropes on the list. It just drives me bananas to hear about how so-and-so is the perfect detective and they work away because of this tragic past. Throwing in the tragic backstories for the criminals too. I mean, I know it happens, but sometimes I'm sat there like, really? You can try and excuse this because of X, Y, and Z? It's just something that can be done well, but sometimes it's overdone to the point where it just seems pointless. Now, I'm a big lover of the crime and mystery genre. I read it pretty much constantly, and I really love the genre, and I really love all that goes into it. But those are just 5 tropes that just drive me up the wall and really just make me want to throw the book away and just look at it and go, really, did you have to do that? I will continue with this series and do other tropes in other genres, but you'll have to wait for those. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays, and sometimes I post them on Sundays too. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere. And don't forget to pre-order Dying Thoughts 7th Death for 99p. All links to which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye.